Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby. It's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. And huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got Brandon, Adrian, Jean Paul, Eric, Julio, Michael, Juan. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for being here in the chat. We're going to have a good topic for you guys today, obviously all surrounding who is this 2024 Arizona Cardinals team. If you guys can do me a huge favor, smack up the like button on your way in. We're going to continue content throughout the entirety of the 2024 season, although some people might not want to hear it. We're going to push through. It's a tough time right now, but these times only make you better, right? Especially if the good things end up happening. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But let's see what happens here for the rest of the season. Let me give you a huge shout out here to the sponsors of the video. BetUS, if you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That is using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up, and that is going to be up to $2,000. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started here. A lot to talk about in this game. I didn't notice that the Cardinals YouTube page posted anything like those post games. Usually they're really good at providing those post game shows on their YouTube page. I don't know if you guys saw anything, but I wasn't able to see anything. Obviously, there's a couple clips here and there from the YouTube page from the people making the content on there, but we didn't see the full, or at least I didn't see the full post game interview. But the clips that I did see, a lot of the same stuff that we've been hearing, right? Especially with these losses for the Cardinals. It's a very interesting situation that we're in right now. A very, very interesting situation that we're in. We are at a crossroads. I guess that's the best way to describe it here amongst Cardinal fans, because what we seriously got almost kind of feels like a civil war. Not violent civil war, but we got a fan base that's absolutely split right now with what is happening with this organization. This is what I feared. Right, this is absolutely something that I feared, because I've been talking about this here from the beginning of the season. And although I was trying to be very optimistic about the Arizona Cardinals in 2024, I was trying to be very, very, let's go Monty Ossenfort. We're backing you every single way we can. I always had a level of hesitancy with the players that we were bringing in, right? Of course, we didn't really bring in a lot of those big names out there, and I kind of kept hearing the same thing over and over again. It's year two. But to me, it's kind of hard to label this as a regular rebuild when you got a franchise quarterback that obviously wants to win. When you got veterans on here that wants to win, like James Conner, you got guys like Budda Baker that want to win, right? This isn't your traditional rebuild, right? Where you're starting with the young rookie quarterback, right? You have a lot of implications that's going to happen this year for the Arizona Cardinals, and now we're kind of seeing the brood of it all, right? Where we all knew that this defense was going to be very, very suspect, where this defense wasn't going to be able to stop really much anybody. It's kind of what we're seeing. It's kind of what we're seeing this year. We don't know what defense is coming out, but we also don't know what offense is coming out either, right? Are we going to be the Rams offense? Was that the outlier this year? Or are we going to be a team that scores in the first drive and fall apart, right? Like, we don't know what team this is, right? And although we want to hold on to hope, although we want to hold on to the saving grace of the possibility of, hey, the Cardinals can turn it around, there is a lot of Cardinal fans out there right now that are just turned off with the idea of, hey, maybe this is just the same old darn Cardinals. And to me, as a Cardinal fan that's been watching since I was in 11th grade of high school, which I'm 35 now, so you do the math. I don't want to put a number on there, but it's a really bad situation to be in, right? Especially when your fan base is already split heading into week 7. Now, a couple different things to know. Week 7, we got prime time. We got Cardinals versus Chargers. Hopefully a good game. Fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to be a favorable matchup for the Cardinals. I'm not going to lie to you. I know that Chargers team currently right now, I believe, is 3-2, but that's a tough team. That's a tough team defensively. That's a tough team that it can cause real problems real quickly. Now, obviously, we're not going to dive into that game quite yet. We're still focusing here on week 7, but there was also a report. I'm sorry, we're focusing on week 6 versus the Packers. Now, another thing that, to know is that there was a report from Ian Rappaport saying that Tua Tagovailoa might come back. Yes, Tua Tagovailoa might come back, which is the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. And guess what? We got week 8 versus the Miami Dolphins, and we don't know if he's coming back that week, but we know he's eligible around that time to come back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We do got a couple super chats piling in. Let me get to my guy, Michael Evans. What's up, brother? He says, only one 100-yard receiver in 23 games, Mike, is crazy. And we're going to talk about that here, man. We're going to talk about that here. That this offense is very, very we don't know what this offense is. We don't know. We don't know what this Arizona Cardinals offense is. We don't know what this team is. We don't, right? Okay, and I can't speak for all of us, and I'm going to say me, because I often find myself saying we a lot, and I apologize. I'm not trying to group anybody else in with my thoughts. I found myself saying, wow, we fought very, very tough against the Bills game, right? Wow, we completely destroyed the Rams. And then we played very tough against week 3 versus the Lions. And then we beat the 49ers, right? And then we found ourselves, we completely got wiped from the Commanders. And then we beat the 49ers. And then we get another goose egg here, right? I don't know what this team is. And I'm not going to even pretend like I know what this team is, right? And I'm not sure if anybody here in the chat can give me a little bit of a saving light other than the fact that this is a year 2 in rebuild. That might be what this is, right? But it's not fair for these veteran players that are on this team, right? And I'm not saying it's not fair to me. I'm a Cardinals fan through and through, right? I'm used to this. I'm used to the loss. I'm used to the pain. I'm used to what we have to deal with. But it's not fair for these veterans here, right? You're James Conner, you're Buda Baker, you're Kyler Murray, right? And I'm one of those guys here that if I'm just gonna step in my soapbox here. I still do think that this last week was on everybody, right? Nobody's excluded in terms of blame. And I'm one of the very few people that is coming out and saying that, because I know there's a lot of people out there that do not want to drag anybody's name through the mud, but I'm going to be one of the first to say everybody's at blame. Everybody's at blame. But I don't think the blame game is important. I think what's more important is fixing it. Fixing and identifying the issue and fixing what is happening here. And what's happening here is that we're seeing an offense which is supposed to be the highlight of the 2024 Arizona Cardinals, and we're seeing a very inconsistent organization, inconsistent team, right? And I think that's one of the most frustrating things as a Cardinal fan, sitting here through and through. And I don't blame Cardinal fans. I've already heard a lot of people, they already DM me. I'm seeing a lot of people comment on my posts saying they're done. Wake them up when the season's over. Wake them up when October is over, or whatever the situation might be. I don't blame those fans one bit, because I don't know what this team is either, right? I'm only hoping and living on a prayer that this Cardinal team will be able to turn it around. With what we've seen so far, all I know is one thing is true, that the constant of this team is the inconsistencies. That's the constant of the 2024 Arizona Cardinals. And it is getting frustrating. It is. It absolutely is. We got a couple more super chats piling in. We got Emmanuel. What's up, buddy? He says, I hope Mr. Bidwell's kids hate football. I can't take another generation of his family's ownership. That's funny. Here's the thing. They're sitting on a landmine right now, right? They're sitting on an absolute landmine with what the Arizona Cardinals are, being one of 32 teams in the NFL, right, is an absolute landmine. Like I'm sorry, did I say landmine? Jackpot is what I meant. My bad. They're sitting on a jackpot right now. Like, this is a business that only very few, right, less than 1% have the privilege of being able to own an NFL team. And I know, I get it. I heard it. And I agree. Bidwell has blame, right? Monty has blame. Everybody's got blame, right? I don't understand why Monty looked at this roster and said, okay, we're good. And I don't understand why Jonathan Gannon came out and said, I have confidence in this pass rusher. I don't understand it. I really don't, right? And it's going to be one of those things that it's going to keep coming back over and over again as long as these opposing quarterbacks have enough time to make a ham sandwich back there, because that's what it feels like, right? That we're just not getting pressure on these guys. We're not getting pressure enough to make them fear that we're going to go back there and sack them. They're unrattled, and that's a dangerous spot to be in as a defense. We already know the liabilities of this defense. We know where we're at. I know there's some Cardinal fans out there that are regretting the Marvin Harrison Jr. pick. There are people out there saying that this draft isn't good. All I can say right now is that it's too early to tell with these young guys, right? It's way too early to tell. I know there's some people out there that are already giving up on Kyler. I mean, one thing that I'm going to be constant by saying is that this year is very important for Kyler Murray. That's one thing I will say, right? We will evaluate at the end of the year to see what happens, and we'll kind of go from there. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. We would hope that this Cardinal team would be not getting blown out anymore. But so far, we got 2 out of the 6 games that the Cardinals got blown out, right? The Commanders game, which hurt a lot. And then we got the Green Bay Packers game, which hurt. So very unfortunate. Let me get to my guy Drama with a $5 donation. He says this: I've been saying this and everyone hated on it, but we should have traded for Fields. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to come out here and crap on anybody's idea at this very moment. I don't know what this Cardinals organization is going to do, right? I don't know. Do I think the Cardinals should have traded for Fields? At that very moment when you might have said it, I probably was one of them that said no. But you also got to think about it on the other side of the coin, right? Where you got an organization that is supposed to be taking the corner or taking a different turn, right? We're supposed to be taking a completely different turn than what we had before, right? And what we had before with Steve Keim was chaos, right? We had chaos. We had unorganization. We had crazy storylines happening in Mexico, right? With what was supposed to be this new regime with Monty Ossenfort and Jonathan Gannon was the fact that we now have a level of accountability, right? We have our guy. We have a level of accountability. I don't think it would be a good look for this regime if the Cardinals decided to do something like that, right? Now, if the Cardinals did it, then of course we would be living in a different situation. But the NFL is also about what it looks like, right? Well, what it looks like from the outside. The Cardinals wanted to make it very, very clear the moment that Monty Ossenfort and Jonathan Gannon took over this job that Kyler Murray, we are backing you, right? You are our franchise quarterback, right? From the very moment that they were hired. And it's very obvious that when Kyler Murray was shocked that they ended up showing up to his OU and they kind of, when they showed up his new statue over there, right? It was very clear that that was the direction that this Cardinals organization was going to go in. The fact that they wanted to back their franchise quarterback, and it wouldn't be a good look for the Cardinals to do something like that. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say, like, obviously, I don't think Fields would have been in any potential to play. I mean, I don't even know right now, honestly. Like, we have 2 QBs, right? And the alternative is Clayton Tune, right? Last year, and I still get people on my comments talking about this. Oh, you want Clayton Tune? Oh, you want Tune time? You also got to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, right? I was very optimistic with the kid that we got in the 5th round last year with the hopes of, hey, man, he can be a good backup quarterback for the Cardinals. I never thought once in my mind that he was going to be the franchise quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. Never said it. Never said that before, but I get it, right? When you are very, very high on the 2023 season because football's in the air, you might say a little bit of silly things. And maybe, yeah, that might be the case, right? Never have I ever thought that Clayton Tune was ever going to be the franchise quarterback of the 2024 or 2025 or 2026 Arizona Cardinals. Ever. Ever. So the alternative right now is Clayton Tune. Who is the best quarterback we have right now on this roster? It's Kyler Murray. And it's absolutely no comparison. It's no comparison. The Cardinals have themselves in a situation right now where they played this very, very strategically, in my mind. They put themselves with a 5th round rookie. Oh, I'm sorry, not rookie. 2nd-year quarterback now, and Kyler Murray. They said, we are carrying 2 QBs right now, and there's going to be no quarterback controversy. Because you're right. If there was a Justin Fields, if there was somebody else, if they left Desmond Ridder, if Josh Dobbs was in the building, there would be people clamoring. I almost promise you, I almost assure you. Now, would I be clamoring? No, I wouldn't be, but there would be more of a split in the fan base. This organization did with what they felt was backing their franchise quarterback. And I back it, right? I back it. There's no way we'll see Clayton Tune unless Kyler gets hurt. That's the only way we'll see him. And I'm not saying you're wrong for thinking that the Cardinals should have traded for Fields, but it just wouldn't be a good look for this regime that was trying to back their franchise QB. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not trying to say that your opinions are not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that from what this looks like from the outside, the Cardinals were not going to be in a situation like that. So, who are the 2024 Arizona Cardinals? Right? Who are the 2024 Arizona Cardinals? I wish I had an answer for you. I really do. I really wish I had an answer for you. I think that this 2024 Arizona Cardinals, right now, with where we're standing, we got 6 games done, right? We still got 11 games left. The Cardinals can still win games. There's still some winnable. Okay, I said I'm going to stop saying winnable games. Okay, there's still some games that the Cardinals could potentially win on this schedule. Yes, that's the truth. Did I think that the Cardinals were going to be more competitive against a Green Bay Packers team? I did. Shame on me. Shame on me, right? I thought that with the win versus 49ers in week 5 was going to hopefully translate. Shame on me. I was wrong. Packers game got annihilated. We got an opportunity here to get back right? We got an opportunity here to get back right. Now, another thing as to like why it hurts as well, right? I want to go ahead and kind of obviously talk about this as well, because a lot of Cardinal fans were excited about the opportunity, about potentially making their number 1 spot solidified, right? At the number 3 position. And here's the crazy thing. The Cardinals being potentially at 3-3 wasn't far-fetched, right? It wasn't far-fetched. The Cardinals beat themselves. That's a fact. The Arizona Cardinals offense played sloppy. That's a fact. The Arizona Cardinals defense couldn't stop anybody to save their life. That's a fact. Everything is a fact when it comes down to this Arizona Cardinals 2024 season so far. Green Bay, I thought we were going to stand a better chance, honestly. But we know the result. We know the Cardinals got beat by 3 touchdowns, 21 points. Hurts. Yes, it does. But now we're sitting at 2-4 in the division. But the beautiful part is not all doom and gloom. We got an opportunity here. And like I said, do I believe in the opportunity? Right now, it's just Hail Mary. I'm just living off of I'm living off of trying to be optimistic right now. Do the Cardinals have an opportunity to get back within this division? Of course they do. Yes, they do. They absolutely do, because if you win against the Chargers, you're sitting at 3-4. Now, we don't know if Tua Tagovailoa is going to be playing versus the Miami Dolphins, right? If he does play against the Miami Dolphins, then okay, we might be in a little bit of a different situation. But if he doesn't play, you got an opportunity to be back at 4-4. And guess what? This football season so far, in 6 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, 6 weeks. Does anybody else feel like you've been through the ringer already? Does anybody else feel like you've been on an emotional roller coaster and we're only in 6 weeks? Can your heart take this? Can it? I don't know. I don't know about me, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm feeling. I really don't. I really don't know what I'm feeling. I want to be optimistic about this organization, and I feel like they can. They can turn this around, right? I need to have some sort of hope. We got 11 games left. Give me hope. Monday Night Football is an opportunity where everybody's watching. Everybody is watching. The national TV will be focused on you. And so far, what the national perceptive is of the Cardinals is that they play very, very tough under the Jonathan Gannon regime. Don't give this national media anything to talk about. And what I mean by that is, do not, for the love of everything out there, please fix this offense. We don't know what's happening with Marvin Harrison Jr. We've seen Malik Neighbors already miss 2 weeks out with a concussion. We don't know if that's going to happen with Marvin Harrison Jr. We don't know. I'm still not. I'm still not in the situation where I'm like, oh, Marvin Harrison Jr. was the pick at 4, and most every team, if they were in the situation that the Cardinals would have been in, would have taken Marvin Harrison Jr. So we're talking about generational talent type of wide receiver. Now, I get it. There's going to be Cardinal fans out there saying, well, he's not doing what he was advertised. Okay, well, you're right, right? There's some things that are a little concerning. But to me, the bigger concern is the fact that our wide receiver and quarterback is not in the connection that they should be in week 6. That's more concerning to me. Does he still have issues with dropping the ball? Does he kind of look lost sometimes? Yes, he does. He does. Right? And I'm not going to shy away from that. He does. But my biggest concern is, why isn't the connection there? Why do they look so lost with each other? I know Kyler Murray took the heat, right? Kyler Murray and the post game. That's one thing that I do remember him saying with the little snippets that we've seen. Because like I said, I didn't see the full post game. It wasn't posted on the Arizona Cardinals YouTube page, so I wasn't able to see it. But I did hear him say that, yeah, that was on me. That miscommunication was on Kyler Murray. That's what he said. He's like, oh yeah, that's on me. Now, is that something where he's just coming to the aid of his rookie wide receiver, and he's like, hey, I'm the veteran, I'm taking the heat? Maybe. Or is it on him? I don't know. We don't know. Cardinal fans, we don't know, right? But what we do know is that when Marvin is given the opportunities, there is a lot of drop balls. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of, doesn't really feel like he knows exactly 100% what this offense has in store. And that's why I was so clamoring on the fact that the Arizona Cardinals should have played in preseason. I don't get why this decision from this coaching staff came out and said, oh, we're fine, we're good, we don't need to play preseason, we got a guy that's as good as they come out of the draft. Well, guess what? Talk is cheap, right? We don't, Cardinal fans, right? People from the outside, we don't know Marvin Harrison Jr. What we know is what we've seen in college, and we hope to everything holy that he translates into the NFL. Now, he still can translate into the NFL. That's a fact. But the main people that know Marvin Harrison Jr., actually know him, is this coaching staff. Did they truly feel like he was ready? Did they truly feel like, oh, he doesn't need any reps? And I get it. They don't want to risk injury. I understand that. But now you're putting a situation where the Cardinals look to be very, very not in a good situation, because we got a guy that's dropping balls and that's not doing, as advertised. And I don't think anybody's expecting Kyler, or I don't think nobody's expecting Marvin Harrison Jr. to have 120 yards every game. Nobody's expecting that. What people are expecting is for him to be a viable spot, or a crucial piece in this offense. That's what we're expecting. And he's not. He's not. Blame that on Drew. Blame that on the quarterback. Blame that on him. Blame it on whoever you want to blame. I don't care who you want to blame. But he's not a crucial part of this offense, and I don't understand why. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Something needs to get fixed, and I know I hear some Cardinal fans clamoring and saying, fire Drew Petzing. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Jonathan Gannon brought in Drew Petzing because he was a genius, because he was the best offensive mind he can think of, right? Is he willing to part ways to save his own job? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But one thing that we do know is that this offense is not as advertised with the weapons that we got. And I'm not saying we have all the weapons in the world. I'm not sitting here saying that. But I'm also not saying we have scrubs. We got some good pieces that can work in the NFL. You're telling me Trey McBride is at least not top 10 tight end? We're telling me James Conner is not at least top 12 running back in the NFL? Marvin Harrison Jr.? Okay, you're right. But let's call him top 20, right? Let's say him top 21. Michael Wilson, a good option at the wide receiving core, right? But I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me why this offense is looking the way that it is. We got a couple more super chats coming in. What's up, Emmanuel? Appreciate the second super chat, my guy. Let me go and give you a DJ horn. Absolutely appreciate it. He says this: it's not a big deal that It's not a big deal that K1 is part of the problem. It's a big deal that he's making $40 million a year to be part of the problem. Ooh. Huh. I like that. And I think that's one thing that people don't understand, too. I think that's one thing that people don't understand is the fact that Cardinal fans right now There's some that are looking at this year and saying, "Oh, he's not playing bad." And you're right, he's not playing bad. You're right. He's not playing bad, but he's also not playing up to what we were hoping this contract was going to, provide, right? $200 million quarterback. You expect him to win some games that he's not supposed to. And what we're seeing is we saw a very good performance in the Rams game. And I mean, this was MVP Kyler Murray is what we saw. We want that back. That's what we're looking for. But after that, it's just inconsistency. And you can't blame it all on Kyler. I get it. It's true. I'm not blaming it all on Kyler, but you're right. It's not a big deal that K1 is part of the problem. It's a big deal that he's making $40 million a year to be part of the problem. I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong there, my guy. Andrew, what's up, buddy? He says, I feel legit bitter when I think about this team. I mean, I don't blame you, man. I really don't. Like I said, this fan base right now is at an absolute crossroads. It's at an absolute crossroads right now. We seriously have Team Kyler, Team Cardinal. I guess I don't know where you want to. But this fan base is split. I kid you not. This fan base right now is absolutely split. There's the crowd that Kyler can't do no wrong, and there's the crowd that says, get him out of here, right? I'm somewhere in the middle. That's where I'm at. I'm somewhere in the middle because every week is something different. Every week is a different thing to evaluate how he plays and how he comes about things. Do I feel like this loss is solely on Kyler? No, of course not. When you blinked your eyes, the Cardinals were down 24-0. The Cardinals were down 24-0. The penalties didn't help, but also the Cardinals offense at one point, Kyler Murray was 1 for 7 with like 8 yards. Like, that's also part of the problem. You can't ignore the fact that, yes, we were down by 24 points, but the Arizona Cardinals offense couldn't convert a third down. The play calls were really bad. Penalties killed us. Everything stacked up against the Cardinals, yes. But at one point in the second quarter, before we hit our 10 points, the Cardinals and Kyler Murray were 1 for 7 with like 8 yards throwing. I kid you not. Watch the latest video that I just posted. I have a graphic with Fox on there. Like, that's the type of stuff that you can't have. I like that he rebounded in the second half, but are you going to sit here and say, oh, that's all on Kyler? Or was the Green Bay Packers saying, we got this game in the bag, we're playing a little soft, we don't want to get hurt? We don't know, right? We don't know. Maybe they were playing a little soft. We don't know. But even with them playing soft, they still got 2 fumbles on us. We were only able to score 13 points at the end of the day, right? So Kyler right now is the best option that we have to win. That's a fact. Absolutely. But 2 things can be true. You can still want Kyler Murray to succeed, but you can also be critical about things that he's not doing well, right? And that's kind of where I'm at. That's where my stance is. I miss truly the Bruce Arians days, ladies and gentlemen. I miss the Bruce Arians days. That when the football season came around, that we had a chance. That we had a chance to compete on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. That's what I miss as a Cardinal fan. And that's not a knock on Jonathan Gannon. That's not a knock on Steve Wilkes. It's not a knock on Cliff Kingsbury. But that was the last time we had any sort of consistency with this organization. It's when we had a guy like Uncle Bruce, Uncle B.A., the uncle that you wanted to take a shot with. That's what I'm looking for. I love that coach. And it's very sad because I do remember finding myself in a situation too when I was very frustrated with this coaching staff over there saying, oh, you need to fire Amos, right? You need to fire that special teams coordinator. But it was obvious. Bruce Arians felt like his hands were forced. He didn't want to let go of any of his guys. He believed in all his coaching staff. The Cardinals organization, I truly believe this. I don't think it's not a fact, but I believe that this is true. I think Steve Keim and Michael Bidwell got together and saying, hey, no, you need to fire this guy. And Bruce Arians said, oh, it's either he stays or I go. And they're like, well, you can go. I believe it because it's no coincidence that he retired for a year broadcasting. He was terrible at that. He came back after 1 year and was a Buccaneers head coach and won with Tom Brady. There's no like, oh, I missed football. That's why I came back. No, come on. You still wanted to be a head coach. It's just unfortunate the way that things shook out here in Arizona. Do I still feel like there's a little bit of hope in 2024? Of course, yes. There's still 11 games. But every single one of these games that are coming moving forward for the following year, or for the rest of the year, for the rest of the year, is very crucial. You can't get too far behind. Now, if we win on Monday Night Football, are we going to be raving and excited with the opportunity of maybe the Cardinals can come back? Of course, because it's week to week, every single week. That's the way that it is. If the Cardinals lose, then you're sitting at a 2-5 team. And then you got the Miami Dolphins. If Tua comes back, then I don't know what happens there. And guess what? We got the trade deadline coming here within the next 2 or 3 weeks. The trade deadline's coming up here within the 2 or 3 weeks. You think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be buyers at 2-4? Oh, we're at 2-4 right now. Sorry. You think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be buyers at 2-5, potentially 2-6? No. Do you think we're going to be sellers? Maybe. I don't know. We don't want to get ourselves in the situation that we're going to have our front office asking these questions. Because if they're sellers, we just have to deal with the fact that the Arizona Cardinals were absolutely used every sense of this cap space in 2024 and used it on players that are absolutely no good, with the exception of Mack Wilson Sr. He's the only good guy that we brought in free agency. The only one. The only one. It all starts with the Chargers this weekend. Let's see what happens here. We got my guy in the chat saying Drew Petzing needs to go. We got my guy back to the Constitution says Jekyll and Hyde needs to pick a side and keep it. That's funny. Yeah, it's true. JK, what's up, JK? I'm sorry, but the cards are trash. Okay, that's fair. Tracy says fair point, Constitution. Andrew says, honestly, wouldn't be excited if we win next week. It just build us to get let down. Can't win 2 games in a row if our life depended on it. And that's a shame. That's a shame. It's a shame that you're correct, Andrew. Not that you said it. I want to be very clear, Andrew, here. It's not a shame that you said it. It's a shame that you're right. The Cardinals have not been able to win 2 games in a row, which seems like forever. Forever. This Cardinals organization and this Cardinals fan base doesn't know what to clearly expect. Appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. This is also my therapy session, by the way. Thank you guys. All right. We have my guy here, Ivan, here with the $10 donation. Sheesh. Let's go, buddy. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. Appreciate the super chat. He says this: scheme and quarterback have to match. A good quarterback covers up the mistakes of others and could do it consistently. We're currently neither. We're on this roller coaster / train wreck for the rest of the season. You might be right, man. You might be right. And that's a thing, right? Because the Cardinals right now are in back-to-back 4-win seasons currently right now. We're back-to-back 4-win seasons with the Johnny Gannon regime in his first year and then the last year with Cliff Kingsbury. I want to go back to that, man. I really don't. I really don't want to go back to that. Because if you're back to that, guess what? Then you're talking about another potential restarting of a rebuild, and who knows what happens then? We can only go as far as Kyler can take us. And that's a fact. And I'm not saying there's a limit on where Kyler can take us. He obviously has a sense of, what's the word? He's got a sense of optimism, right? The way he talks, the way Jonathan Gannon speaks. There's a level of optimism amongst this locker room. But I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. If the losses continue to pile, the words just go in one ear and out the other. Then people start clamoring about your head coach. Then people start clamoring about your offensive coordinator, especially if you can't fix it already heading into week 7. But it's a situation that we're finding ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a situation that we're finding ourselves in. And it's I don't know how to describe it. I really don't. But we got a couple other super chats coming through here. Appreciate y'all for being here, by the way. Let's get these super chats trains on the way. We got my guy JK Gamer on the chat says, I not giving up on them, but like, come on. Yeah. I mean, I'm not giving up on them either, man. I've been through I've been through the quarterback carousel of Liner. Oh, not even Liner. Skelton, Hall, Cobb. Where I've been through that quarterback carousel. I've been, and it's not a good place to be. It really isn't. It's a very, very, very bad place to be, in a scary, dark place to be, in that carousel, for sure. Um, so I'm not giving up on him either, but it's tough that we're constantly seeing the same things over and over again, right? Especially why we can't fix it is beyond me. Trash Boat, what's up, buddy? $5 donation. He says this isn't the team I fell in love with back in 2008. It just isn't. Hope the Kyler's fans are happy. At least 2015 gave me hope. This is just depressing. Wow. This that damn. Damn, I resonate with that one. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm one of those guys that I like to admit my faults. I like to admit when I'm wrong as well. And I was one of those guys that were saying pay Kyler too. I was. Um, this year is going to be. I still do think it's going to be very telling. I still do. If he turns it around, then obviously we're talking about a different situation. But if it just goes south really quickly, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm glad you said hope Kyler's fans are happy because there's a difference between Cardinals fans and Kyler's fans. Absolutely. Facts. You're right on that. And it does seem like there is a level of Kyler Murray's fans that are very, very young that like to spew a lot of hate and a lot of ugliness in the world, especially if you don't believe in their take, if you don't believe that he's not the guy, right? There's a lot of hate getting thrown around. And it's very unfortunate. It really is, because football, in the end of the day, we all got opinions. We're all human beings, right? We all want the same result. We want Kyler to succeed because the Cardinals succeed when he succeeds. But there's a big difference between Kyler Murray fans and Cardinal fans. That's a fact. That's a fact. BT or B types. What's up, man? Appreciate you. But thanks so much for the super chat. He says this. It's weird because one game Kyler looks great, and then the next he looks so hard just to get a first down. There's a disconnect there, and I can't figure it out. Well, the crazy thing here is that it's funny because I don't even think this coaching staff can figure it out. And that's the scarier part, right? Us, we're fans. Me, I'm a podcaster, right? I do this for a living. This is what I do because this is what I do, right? But you're right. That's not our job. It's not our job to take a look to see what's going on. The scary thing is the fact that they don't know how to fix it either. And it's not all on Kyler, right? It's not all on Kyler. I want to be very clear. It's not all on Kyler. It's this offense in general. It's Kyler, the offense, the offensive line, everything. Everything. Why are we able to get these wide receivers available or open? Why? Why haven't we been able to use Marvin Harrison Jr. as one of the best wide receivers we've seen come out of the college in a very long time? Why is he looking this mediocre? Why is he looking this mediocre? And that's where we're sitting back as Cardinal fans, hoping and praying that we're going to be able to turn this around, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I had a hard time sleeping last night. Very, very hard time sleeping last night. I don't get what is going on with this organization. I really don't. I don't get it. All I want is a competent organization that's constantly giving us wins and giving us hope for a potential playoff run. That's all I want. That's all I want. And I just don't get why we're not there. Why we can't get there. I don't understand it. Let's get to my guy RC. What's up, RC? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the $5 donation. Let me give some air horns up in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so very much for being here, by the way. RC3, what's up, brother? Appreciate you for being here. I know you were with me a couple years back as well. It's hard to keep showing up, so I appreciate you for showing up. I get it. My guy says no BJ, no Robinson, no pressure on that line. O-line and playbook is not connecting with mid-tier receivers. Should have addressed those issues. Yeah, I don't think so. to me, and I'm just going based off of like eyes, right? Like eyes. I don't have the PFF grades or anything like that. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals offensive line. I get it. We're going through the ringer, right? We're going through with that right side, but I don't think that the Cardinals are the worst offensive line in the NFL. I don't think we are. I think we give plenty of time. I'm sorry. Let me scratch that. I think there's some plays that we give. I'm not gonna say plenty of time. We give enough time to go through some reads. Um, m- m- was I too high on this wide receiving core? I guess maybe. I guess maybe. I still do believe in Michael Wilson. I still think he's a good wide receiver too. I I still believe in Marvin. I still like Greg Dortch. It's just it's not like we're dealing with a situation where the wide receiver, like one wide receiver, is just not connected. It's not like it's just Marvin. Marvin's not working, ladies and gentlemen. It's not Marvin. It's the wide receivers as a whole. What's going on with the wide receivers as a whole? They're not. It almost feels like they're not even involved. That's what it feels like. That like the wide receivers feel like they're not even involved. This offense really focuses down on one specific player. And when it works, they ride that player till the wheels come off. James Conner, Trey McBride, when we were forcing it over and over and over to Marvin Harrison Jr. when it didn't work, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I agree. BJ and not having Robinson does hurt. I agree with you there for sure. Here we go. $20 donation. Sheesh. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much, Bobby. He says this. Kyler is the essence at what an elite quarterback should be. Standing tall over 6 feet with a precise arm, natural leadership, and relentless dedication to studying film when others are busy playing video games. Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. You guys with the gems today. Okay. Well, okay. Well, let me just say this real quick. It didn't help that Kyler Murray just signed with oh my goodness. It didn't help that Kyler Murray just signed a deal with Call of Duty, and then we get this performance. That doesn't help, right? I mentioned this before last week. I don't care. You got your bag, cool, as long as it doesn't affect us, right? And so far, it I don't know what this offense is. It's not all on Kyler. I'm going to say that, but let me read this again. Kyler is the essence of what an elite quarterback should be, standing tall over 6 feet with a precise arm, natural leadership, and a relentless dedication to studying film when others are playing video games. Oh, wait. Oh, Bobby, you're going to get me canceled here. You're going to get me canceled here, Bobby. Stop it. Stop it, Bobby. You're going to get me canceled. They already tried to. They already tried to cancel me here on X/Twitter, man. They already try to cancel me here on X/Twitter already. So stop it right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good conversation overall. Good conversation. I think that obviously Cardinal fans, all we got is each other. All we got is each other. Like seriously, like that. It's all we got. We got to ride the storm out. See what happens in 2024. Is there still hope? Yes, there is. All right, there's still hope. But we're still 11 games left to go here in the 2024 season. Kyler, please don't make this partnership of Call of Duty. And I get it. You made a joke, right? The joke was, oh, you memed me into a bag. That's awesome. I'm glad you got your bag. I'm glad you got paid by the Cardinals. I'm glad you got paid by Call of Duty. That's awesome. Partnership is cool. It makes sense for what you do. You love games. I love it. It's cool. But please don't make this please do not make this another reason for people to meme the Cardinal fans. Please. Please. I'm sick of the jokes. Let's fix it here on Monday Night Football, and let's see if we can get this job done. That's all I got to say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Everybody, if you guys haven't already, smack the like button. Do me that huge favor. Smack up the like button. Do it for the algorithm. Right now, we're sitting with 21 likes with over 80 people here in the chat. Thank you, everybody. And honestly, I'm going to be very truthful for you guys. You probably shouldn't even be here on this live. Like, honestly, like the Cardinals are to the point where it's so hard to talk about this team. It really is. It's hard to talk about this team. And I really am appreciative for the for the community that we created here on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. And one thing I'm always gonna say is I'm always gonna tell you guys the truth. Sometimes it might be a little late. Sometimes it might be a little late, but at the end of the day, we're going to come around and we're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Appreciate you guys as always. Andrew with the great send off. Still love the show. Go AZ Sports Fan. Appreciate you, Andrew, man. All right, smack up the like button. Do it for the algorithm. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. We're gonna go ahead and give another shout out here to the sponsors of the video, BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit and 125% sign up bonus on the following two by using promo code YouTube150. And also keep in mind that it is going to be up to $2,000, ladies and gentlemen. All right, y'all. It's been an absolute pleasure, everybody. Stop trying to get me canceled. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cardinals.